Are you filling your retirement accounts in the wrong order? Most people hear that the 401k limit jumped to $24,500 for 2026 and think, great, I'll just max it out, done. But that's exactly where the mistake happens. Because the limits, and yes, there are several of them this year, are not the strategy. They're just the ceiling. How you fill the space underneath that ceiling, that's what separates the people quietly building tax-free wealth from the ones leaving thousands on the table every single year. There's a hidden contribution order that most financial content never explains. Fill it wrong, and you're handing the IRS money you didn't have to give. Fill it right, and you could stack multiple tax advantages in a single year that compound for decades. I'm sharing what I've found through the data, not financial advice. Always verify the details match your situation before moving money. Here's every limit that changed for 2026, and a contribution sequence that many financial planners recommend. Let's start with the base limits. The standard 401k employee deferral limit went from $23,500 to $24,500. That applies to traditional 401k plans, 403b plans, governmental 457 plans, and the thrift savings plan. If you're under 50, that's your ceiling, $24,500 for the year. Spread across 26 bi-weekly paychecks, that's $942.30 per pay period. If you're 50 or older, you get the standard catch-up contribution. For 2026, that's $8,000, up from $7,500 last year. A $500 increase that most people overlooked. So your total if you're between 50 and 59, or 64 and older, $32,500. That's $1,250 per bi-weekly paycheck if you max it out. But here's the game changer, and this is brand new. Secure 2.0 created a category that didn't exist before 2025. The Super Catch-Up for ages 60, 61, 62, and 63. Instead of the standard $8,000 catch-up, you get $11,250. That brings your total 401k contribution to $35,750. Just from the employee side, that's roughly $1,375 per bi-weekly paycheck. If you're in this age window, you have a 4-year opportunity to turbocharge your retirement savings before it drops back to the regular catch-up at 64. Let's put that in perspective. And the Super Catch-Up gives you $3,250 more per year than the standard catch-up. Over 4 years, ages 60 through 63, that's an extra $13,000 in tax advantage contributions. Invested at 8% for just 5 years until 68, those additional contributions alone grow to roughly $19,100. Free growth that wouldn't exist without this new provision. Now add the employer match. The total annual addition to your 401k, your contributions plus your employer's match and any profit sharing, can't exceed $72,000 for 2026 under Section 415. That's up from $70,000 last year. If you're catch-up eligible, that cap rises to $80,000 for the standard catch-up, or $83,250 for the super catch-up. Most people won't hit these numbers. But if your employer offers a generous match of 10 to 15%, you could be putting away serious money. Now, let's talk about IRAs. The traditional and Roth IRA contribution limit increased to $7,500 for 2026, up from $7,000, a $500 bump. If you're 50 or older, the catch-up went up to $1,100 from $1,000 last year, bringing your total IRA limit to $8,600. The Roth IRA income phase-outs shifted too. These are critical if you're a mid to high earner. If you're single, you can make a full Roth IRA contribution if your modified adjusted gross income is below $153,000. The phase-out range runs from $153,000 to $168,000. Above that, you can't contribute directly. If you're married filing jointly, the phase-out range is $242,000 to $252,000. But if you earn too much for a direct Roth contribution, there's a backdoor. You contribute to a traditional IRA, which has no income limit for contributions, and then immediately convert it to a Roth, It's legal. In fact, the IRS has acknowledged it. Millions of people use it. Just make sure you don't have existing traditional IRA balances, or you'll trigger the pro rata rule, which creates a messy tax situation. Talk to your advisor before attempting it. Now let's talk about the most underused retirement account in America, the HSA, the Health Savings Account. If you have a high-deductible health plan, the 2026 HSA limit is $4,400 for self-only coverage and $8,750 for family coverage. The catch-up for 55 and older adds another $1,000. The HSA is the only account in the entire tax code that gives you a triple tax advantage: tax-deductible going in, tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals for qualified medical expenses. No other account does all three. Not a 401k, not a Roth IRA. Nothing. And here's the strategy most people miss. You don't have to use your HSA for medical expenses now. You can pay medical bills out of pocket. Let your HSA invest and grow for decades. And withdraw it tax-free in retirement for any medical expense you ever had. Keep your receipts. Let the money compound. After 65, you can even withdraw for non-medical expenses. You'll just pay income tax, exactly like a traditional IRA. No penalty. It's essentially a bonus retirement account hiding inside your health insurance. Now let's put this all together with 3 real scenarios. Scenario 1. You're 30 years old, earning $85,000. Here's your optimal stack. You contribute 6% to your 401k to get the full employer match. That's $5,100, with your employer adding another $2,550 at a 50% match. Then you max your Roth IRA at $7,500. Then you go back and max the 401k to $24,500. If you're on a high-deductible health plan, you also max your HSA at $4,400. Total tax-advantaged contributions: $36,400 including the employer match. Invested for 35 years at an average 8% return. This single year of contributions grows to approximately $5.4 million. That's the power of starting early. Scenario 2. You're 52 years old, earning $160,000. You max the 401k at $24,500 plus the $8,000 catch-up. That's $32,500 total. Your income is above the Roth IRA phase-out range for single filers. So you use the Backdoor Roth strategy for $8,600 with catch-up. You max your HSA at $4,400. You're 52, not yet 55, so no HSA catch-up yet. Total tax-advantaged contributions across all accounts: $45,500. That's a lot of money shielded from taxes this year. At 8% for 15 years, this year's contributions alone grow to roughly $143,000. Scenario 3, the big one. You're 61 years old, earning $200,000. You max the 401k at $24,500 plus the super catch-up of $11,250. That's $35,750. You do a backdoor Roth IRA for $8,600 with catch-up. You max the HSA at $5,400 with the age 55 plus catch-up. Total: $49,750 sheltered from taxes in a single year. If you contribute at that level for 4 years through the super catch-up window and earn 8%, you're adding over $230,000 to your retirement. That's a life-changing amount in the final stretch before you stop working. So what's the optimal contribution order? Here's the strategy that most financial planners agree on, and the math supports it. Step 1. Contribute to your 401k up to the employer match. Nothing else. If your company matches 50 cents on the dollar up to 6%, contribute exactly 6%. That match is effectively a 100% return on your money. Arguably the best starting point in any retirement strategy. Few things in personal finance rival the immediate return of an employer match. It's hard to find a better starting point. Named Step 2. Max out your HSA if you're eligible. The triple tax advantage makes this one of the more powerful long-term tools available. In some scenarios, it can rival a Roth IRA on a pure tax efficiency basis. Let it grow. Invest it in index funds. And ideally, Avoid dipping into it before retirement. Step 3. Max out your Roth IRA at $7,500 or $8,600 with catch-up. Tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals in retirement. On no required minimum distributions. This is the most flexible retirement money you can have. If your income is too high, use the backdoor strategy. Step 4. Go back and max out the rest of your 401k. Fill it up to $24,500 or $32,500 with catch-up or $35,750 with the super catch-up. Every dollar here reduces your taxable income immediately if you choose traditional, or grows tax-free if you choose Roth. Step 5. If you've maxed all of the above and still have money to invest, open a taxable brokerage account. No tax advantages, but no contribution limits or withdrawal restrictions either. Focus on tax-efficient index funds, total market or S&P 500 ETFs, and hold them long-term for favorable capital gains treatment. Now the big question, traditional or Roth 401k. Here's the general framework. If you're in the 22% bracket or lower and expect your income to grow, Roth can be worth considering. The idea being you pay taxes now at the lower rate, withdraw tax-free later when you might be in a higher bracket. If you're in the 32% bracket or higher and expect to be in a lower bracket in retirement, traditional may be worth exploring. You'd get the deduction now at the higher rate, pay taxes later at a lower rate. The 24% bracket, that's the toss-up zone. Many advisors suggest splitting. Do traditional 401k for the current deduction and Roth IRA for tax diversification. Having money in both pre-tax and after-tax accounts gives you flexibility in retirement to manage your taxable income strategically. There's a mistake I see people make every single year that costs them more than any contribution limit change. They wait until December to think about this. By then, it's too late to adjust payroll deductions for most plans. If you want to max out your 401k at $24,500, it helps to set your contribution percentage early so it spreads evenly across your remaining paychecks. If you wait until October, you'd need to contribute an enormous chunk of each paycheck to catch up, and many people can't afford that. The math is simple. $24,500 divided by 26 bi-weekly paychecks equals $942.30 per paycheck. If you get paid monthly, it's $2,041.67. Setting it early and letting it run is one way to make the math work year-round. The same applies to your HSA. I set the automatic contribution at the beginning of the year and let it compound. One more thing worth noting. If you're self-employed, the SEPIRA limit for 2026 is $72,000, matching the Section 415 limit. And the simple IRA limit went up to $17,000, with a $4,000 catch-up for those 50 and over. Self-employed individuals have access to some of the largest tax-advantaged contribution limits available anywhere in the tax code. If you're running a business and not maxing a SEPIRA, there may be significant tax deferral available worth reviewing. If this breakdown helped you plan your 2026 contributions, a like helps more people find it before they miss out. And subscribe if you want honest retirement strategies delivered before tax season. Here's the bottom line. The IRS gave you more room to save in 2026. $24,500 for a 401k, $7,500 for an IRA. The brand new super catch-up of $11,250 for ages 60 to 63. Combined with an employer match and HSA, some people can shelter close to $50,000, or even more, from taxes in a single year. But the limit is only half the equation. The order you contribute, employer match first, then HSA, then Roth IRA, then max the 401k, is what can make a real difference over time. It's a variable many people overlook. The contribution order is worth reviewing before the year gets away from you. Run your numbers now, adjust your payroll contributions, and make 2026 the year you put a retirement structure in place that's actually working for your situation.